because it is a question of focus. Very often we complain about life and we say, things are terrible and awful, not realizing that we're the cause of it, either by imagining it and then beliefs become self-fulfilling prophecies, or because we just focus on what is not working. And once again, this does not mean that there are no objective, terrible circumstances out there. But to a great extent, we co-create our reality. Now, one of the students who was in 1504 2 years ago recommended this book to me, Way of the Peaceful Warrior. And it's a wonderful book. I just started reading it. And there's a movie on it, right? I just started reading it yesterday, and I came across this, coincidentally, this parable. So I want to read it to you. It's a story that Dan Millman, the author, tells. I met him on a construction site in the Midwest. When the lunch whistle blew, all the workers would sit down together to eat. And every day Sam would open his lunch pail and start to complain. Son of a gun, he'd cry. Not peanut butter and jelly sandwich again. I hate peanut butter and jelly. He whined about his peanut butter and jelly sandwiches day after day after day, until one of the guys on the work crew finally said, Sam, if you hate peanut butter and jelly so much, why don't you just tell your old lady to make you something different? What do you mean, my old lady? Sam replied. I'm not married. I make my own sandwiches. Now, very often we make our own sandwiches and we don't even notice it. Because the questions that we ask determine our reality. A peanut butter sandwich, or geometric shapes, or children on the bus, or salami, whatever it is. We very often create our own reality. And if we understand this, we can transform, change the way that we perceive, change our focus, change our questions. Whether it's questions disputing irrational evaluations, whether it's questions focusing on the positive. And the questions create a new reality. There are essentially two archetypes that I'd like to discuss here. Two archetypes that capture, in many ways, how we can cognitively reconstruct and hence create our reality. The two archetypes are the benefit finder and the fault finder. First of all, the fault finder. The fault finder is a person who always focuses on things that don't work, on the peanut butter and jelly, on things that are not going well, on problems in the relationships, on problems in him or herself, problems with the job, the consummate complainer. Now, we all exist on the continuum of between extreme fault finding and extreme benefit finding. There's no one who is all the way on the extreme this way or that way. Everyone is on somewhere on the continuum, and what I'm going to argue for is to move a little bit more from the fault finding toward the benefit finding, because there are many benefits to it that I'll discuss later. The fault finder, I got the name from the work of Henry David Thoreau. The fault finder will find faults even in paradise. The extreme fault finder experiences resignation, learned helplessness. Why? Because he or she begins to really believe that the terrible reality is very much out there, independent of what he or she thinks, not recognizing that they create that reality. They begin to believe that no matter what they do, no matter what job they find, they have a terrible boss. No matter what partner they have, they're always awful and inconsiderate. No matter what restaurant they go to, the service is always awful. And they always keep on getting the same peanut butter and jelly sandwich that they made for themselves. And they resigned to the reality, and that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, of course, their existence. A fault finder makes lemonade out of lemons. makes lemon out of lemonade. The benefit finder, research Julian Bauer, now at UCLA. The benefit finder is the opposite, focuses on what works. The benefit finder looks on the bright side of life, finds the silver lining in a dark cloud, makes lemonade out of lemons, and doesn't fault an instructor for using too many cliches. The benefit finder finds the miracle in the common.